I am going to be doing a boot camp at Johns Hopkins University this August for 8 days, 52 hours of instruction on the new digital SAT. And I will tell you, thus far on the digital SAT, we are averaging about 6 points an hour. That's a lot of points for 52 hours, right? So if you have 8 days at the end of August and you would like to improve your SAT score, without a doubt, this is the best way to get you there. Okay, let's talk about money. The question everybody wants to talk about, right? Here's basically what you want to do. You want to think about schools as buyers and sellers. It's also supply and demand, right? Some schools, they have too much supply and the demand is too low, so they will do things to entice you. Then there are schools that the demand is really high and the supply is very low, and so you have to work to entice them. So basically, it's where the onus is. And so the book talks about these as buyers and sellers. So in order to put together a balanced list, because you want to think about both buyers and sellers when you're thinking about targets, reaches, and safeties, families need to look at two numbers in particular. One is desirability as measured by its yield, and yield is the percentage of students who end up enrolling. So that means if Harvard says yes to 1,000 students and 500 say, okay, I'm going to come, they have a yield of 50%. A yield of 50% is insane, incredibly high. Students can only choose one school if you're admitted to multiple schools, right? The higher a school's yield, the less likely it is to spend money on merit to attract students. So you want to think about yield as an indicator of whether or not you're likely to get merit aid from that school. The second number is the percentage of institutional aid spent on non-need-based aid. So your need-based aid is like one thing, but a lot of students are not going to get enough from need, and so they have to look at merit. And these two numbers can be found in what's called the common data set. So they're not perfect ways of figuring out whether or not you're going to get merit aid and how much, but they're a good yardstick. They're a good place to start. Remember, when students start looking at schools, they're thinking about academic and social stuff. They're not really thinking about cost. They kind of think about cost, but college is a weird animal because it's the only thing that you buy that's like a major purchase that you have no idea how much it costs until almost the point when you're forking over the money, right? Kind of crazy. Usually, you will find out by the end of March or April 1st at the latest whether or not you've gotten into a school, but you still haven't seen the financial aid package. And generally, the financial aid packages don't come for a little while later. If you've gotten into a school in January, but you're not going to see the financial aid package till April 15th, how can you decide if you're going to attend that school or not, right? And generally, the common reply date, which is going to be different this year because of the whole FAFSA debacle, which is a whole other ball of wax, the common reply date is May 1st, which means that you have to make a decision based on a tremendous amount of information in like 15 days. If you get your financial aid letter on April 15th and you're like, okay, I got into these 4 schools, which ones can I afford and how do I weigh that with the selectivity, the potential network that I'm going to have when I graduate, and my job prospects according to my major and what the salary predictions are? Mind blown, right? What I wish a lot of parents would do is shop for colleges by price and think about it from the perspective of how much am I likely to pay. There is actually a service called Tuition Fit, and I'm not getting paid to do this. I just think this is a really good idea to look at the price of schools based on the actual financial aid awards that other students have received. So you can figure out what you're likely to get based on what's happened in the past, right? Past history is the best predictor of the future. So a lot of people use the net price calculator to think about need-based aid, and that's completely right, especially if you're a student who is likely to get 100% of your need met. But if you're a student who is not likely to get 100% of your need met, then you're like, well, what else am I eligible for? Because my need's not really going to be met, right? What the government thinks I can pay is not actually what I want to pay. So then I'm thinking about merit aid. And so the need price calculator doesn't take merit aid into account. So that's why it's kind of an imperfect tool in that sense. One thing that you want to be really careful of is about half of colleges who do a thing called front loading. That means they give you more money in your first year, like merit aid, than they're going to give you in your second and third and fourth years. Basically, they give you a lot. It entices you to come to the school. You say yes, you have a great time. You're like, oh my God, all my friends are here. And then they don't give you as much aid the second year by a lot. And so you have to figure out what you can do to stay at that school. So about half of colleges do this. What you want to do is when you get your financial aid award, you can literally straight up ask, is this award going to be renewed in years 2, 3, and 4? And do I have a guarantee of that? If you ask the admissions counselor or the financial aid counselors, they will tell you the truth. They just are not going to volunteer it if you don't ask. So another thing you can do if you want to think about this before you're applying to the college, because you're like, okay, am I applying to a college that's likely to like do a bait and switch, lure me in, and then change the situation in year 2? You can go to the federal government's College Navigator website. And you can look at the average grant amount for first-year students compared with that for all undergrad students. And so if there's a big change between first-year and undergrad students, that's the thing you want to be aware of, because that means that that might happen to you. That's when you ask the financial aid office. So I was talking with a friend recently about the trend of offering free college classes virtually. My friend was saying knowledge should be democratized and access to information should be democratized. I think it is. I think that is the trend. But I don't think that that's the role of college, especially highly selective colleges. I think their job is to get you to be a good critical thinker, which is about putting you in problem settings and helping you explore them. If you look at our underserved schools, those are the things that students do not learn, and those are the skills that are most useful. Because with the internet and with ChatGPT, access to information is like no longer the issue. Everybody has access to information, and everybody has information all the time. But the question is, what are we going to do with it? And so training people to use the information intelligently, that's what I think the role of college is. And I've said this before. I remember when I was in undergrad, one of my professors said, I could have you memorize names and dates and facts, but I want to teach you how to think, because you can look that stuff up later. Getting you to think is exactly what I think the role of college is, with people who are challenging you from a variety of perspectives and trying to make you resilient, flexible. That, to me, is the actual point of college. And I think that that's probably the direction we're going to move in, because that's the only thing that we can actually continue to sell. That's the only thing that has value anymore. I am going to be doing a boot camp at Johns Hopkins University, and I will tell you we're averaging about 6 points an hour on the new digital SAT. That's a lot of points for 52 hours, right? So come study with me. It's going to be a great time.